Why are Travis Scott shoes still so hard to get at retail? What's up, sneaky people? It's your boy FB QCING Gear, and we are back with another video. And this time we are going to crack the can open on our legit checking guide for the Travis Scott Jordan 1 Low brown velvet brown, whatever. These things right here. And no, these are not an authentic retail pair. It is December 21st right now. This is the release day for the Travis Scott Jordan 1 Low brown velvet brown, whatever. And unfortunately, I took many L's today. And not all the raffles have ended yet, but I am very doubtful. I do not think I will be getting these for retail, but I will be getting an authentic pair from GOAT or StockX or some resale platform. I'm just waiting for prices to settle down a little bit before I start giving you guys these real versus fake guides. But you know that the education does not start and stop with the authentic pairs. You need to know what the replica market is looking like, so that if you are looking for an authentic pair, especially in times right now where companies like StockX are knowingly, unknowingly, whatever, they're passing replica shoes as authentic, and you don't want to be involved in that mix. So the best thing you can do, in addition to studying authentic pairs, is to study what the replicas look like. And that's why I do these reference guides before and after my real versus fake guides, so that we know what the market is looking like currently, so we don't get scammed. So that's the meaning of this video. Authentic pair will be on the way, but for now, we're going to look at these replica pairs as reference to start building our knowledge base so that we can do our legit checking, guys. So with that said, just like in every other video, go to the Instagram account on the screen so that you can see more details on this shoe, especially the stuff that I don't go over or I don't get a chance to go over, because there's a lot when it comes to these Travis Scott shoes. So go to the Instagram account on the screen and educate yourself. But with that said, let's get into the actual package, which is the shoes in the box. The box I'm not going to spend too much time on because it is a carbon copy of the reverse mochas and the medium olives that came out not too long ago. So just take a look at the tag. That's important. But outside of that, let's get the box out of here and let's just look at the shoes. So here we have them. And I gotta say that this is a weird one for me. I don't think that this release is bad at all. I think the shoe itself is pretty dope, but it's plain. It's very plain. This to me screams a Nike SB Dunk Low colorway, you know, with the materials and the color tones. Not really a Jordan 1, but I know Travis Scott is a fan of the Nike Dunk Low. So, you know, maybe there's a mock-up somewhere in the vault where this started out as a Nike Dunk Low, but it ended up as a Jordan 1 Low. Either way, I don't think this tops my list when it comes to Travis Scott Jordan 1 Lows, but nonetheless, I think it's pretty good. If I'm looking at these, they probably most resemble the Phantoms. If you guys have any interest in legit check guides on the Travis Scott Jordan 1 Low Phantom, I've got plenty on this channel. I even have a playlist specifically dedicated to Travis Scott Jordan 1 Low real versus fake legit check guide, so check that out. But yeah, I would say that this reminds me most of the Phantom, not just because it is kind of tonal, monochromatic, but specifically the material. Now, if you look up close, the material on these is almost like a treated nubuck, or I should say a treated suede, where underneath is definitely a suede material, but it's treated with some sort of layer of like wax or sealant that kind of flattens out the material. Now on the Phantoms, it's just the kind of mudguard area and like the raised panels that have that treated material, while the rest is nubuck. But for these, it is all over on the toe box, on the mud guard, on the upper, even on the swooshes. except for the reverse swoosh, which happens to be a black leather. But the entire upper of this shoe is a treated suede. And because of that, I feel like this is going to be a pretty big source of legit checking when it comes to these shoes. One of the things that I noticed when it comes to the Phantoms is that while the material seeks to kind of mimic the authentic pairs when it comes to the reps, they don't get it quite right. And I wonder what authentic pairs are going to look like when it comes to these shoes, because the material itself is pretty flat on the heel cup, on the mud guard, on the lace holders and things. It's pretty flat. That was a telltale sign on the Phantoms, whether they were real or fake. There was texture. You still had that gloss wax look that this had, but on the Phantoms, there was still more texture. You could see the hair standing up a lot more like this, which is a lot less treated. So it looks like there is some contrast between the side panels and the raised materials on here, but they're both suede. This just seems to be a lot less treated than this and this and this. Hopefully that is coming out on screen. So for the people that did hit on retail pairs, you tell me, is this shoe supposed to be one type of material across the board? Is it supposed to be more like this traditional suede, or is it supposed to be more like this treated suede here? You tell me, but the reps definitely have a little bit of a mix of both going on. Color wise, they're more or less the same. I would say the heavily treated suede is a little bit darker than the hairier suede that is on like the toe box and the side panels. So that's definitely pretty interesting. And with that, you have a Cactus Jack that, again, if you've seen any of my legit check guides in the past, you know that positioning of the Cactus Jack is important, especially when it comes to sizes 10 and up. For sizes 10, 11, 12, and even below that, you want to see some engagement with this stitch and the C. So you see that here. And on the other shoe, you see it as well. So that's good. But a legit checking factor when it comes to this feature specifically is always going to be about how much does this protrude, right? Is it super bold? Is it super defined? And how much gloss does it have? So without an authentic pair, I can't tell you what it's supposed to look like, but take a look at what the rep looks like, guys, and bank that in your memory bank. And when we do our legit check guides with an authentic pair, we'll make sure that we compare that. But take a look at that. Looking at the shoes from the back, we've got a pretty glossy black embroidery for both the Wings logo and the Cactus Jack face. On this release, it looks like it's a smiley face as opposed to a frowning face, but take a look at how glossy that is. That is not something that we've seen in previous Travis Scott Jordan 1 lows, and probably because no other one has black embroidery, so maybe that's what it is. But that is definitely glossy, and it's a differing gloss than the stitching that holds down those wax panels. So taking a look, it looks like we have two types of stitching. We have the brown, right, which comes across here, but it's also on the black reverse swoosh. And then we've got this black, very glossy black that goes around the rest of the shoe. But yeah, I mean, that's the shoe. It's monochromatic. It's pretty basic, I would say, for a Travis Scott. We're going to pay attention in the future to the color of the midsole and how it contrasts to the color of the outsole, because they're not exactly the same color. You've got this brown, almost like a velvety brown color that transitions into a darker mocha color. So we'll pay attention to that. On the tongues, we've got a lot more brown going on. The foam is a yellowish kind of foam. And the labels are very much so brown, just like everything else. But there is a tonal difference between the Nike Air tag and the Cactus Jack tag on the sides. They come laced with this brown lace, but the brown contrasts a little bit with the upper. And the spare laces are another brown, which seems to be a little bit lighter than the brown that comes laced in the shoebox. Lighter than the laces that come laced in the shoe. And we also have our classic pink Travis Scott laces. Pay attention to how these are wound in here. This is not the traditional, or this is not the new style that they're winding the laces in with the aglet like tucked into the center. This is how old Jordan 1 laces used to come wound. So pay attention to that. Maybe the retail pairs will be different, maybe they won't, but again, we're looking for these touchstones. But outside of that, this is a pretty standard Travis Scott Jordan 1. You've seen them a lot on this channel, but still, I think it's pretty dope. If I had to say what personality this matches the most on Travis Scott, this screams his brown Batman Halloween costume to me. Very much so that vibe. But yeah, still more or less a pretty dope shoe. Right now they're going for about $490 in my size. I know it's super early. I'm hoping that I can get them closer to $400 as opposed to $490, so I'll keep an eye on that. But I promise you guys, you will get a real versus fake comparison series on this channel. If there's one thing that I do, it's the Travis Scott Jordans, and with the exception of a few, but for the Travis Scott Jordan 1 lows, I know that they're very popular, and especially now the prices are a lot more accessible to people that are willing to drop $400 on shoes. But and I know I'm gonna get a bunch of comments where people are gonna say, oh, these are 1-to-1, I would never spend $400 on shoes. But hush it, guys, I don't care. This video series is for education. So with that said, guys, remember, you can find more pictures of this shoe on the Instagram account that's going to pop up on the screen. Also remember, I will be starting a Discord channel very, very, very soon, and it is going to be my own personal Discord. It's not going to be, connected to a larger group, so that I can get more connection with my community, so that we can talk legit checking, we can talk streetwear, we can talk whatever we want to talk about. But yes, I will be launching a Discord channel in the new year, so stick with it, guys. I promise I will let you guys know when it pops up, and maybe I'll do a giveaway around when that happens too. So with that said, guys, that's it. I'm gone. No more. Stay tuned for more, and if I don't post another video before the new year, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and looking forward to seeing you guys in 2025. Peace.